What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I told you guys we're going to talk about Fed rates versus mortgage rates, because it seems like, man, I see this everywhere on Facebook, too. As much as I try to stay off that, I'm supposed to be on it because you'd think YouTube and social media, I can't stand it. But all I hear is, like, rates are going up, and there's someone, like, linking a house comment to it. Like, it's true, they're going to trickle down. So this is Randy. He's a preferred lender around here. And he's going to talk way more detail about that, how they're correlated, because they will trickle down. But the part you guys don't see is rates did go up. Well, the Fed rates did, but mortgage rates actually dropped down for a little bit. But that wasn't in the news. It wasn't clickable, so there's no fear-mongering there. So we're talking about how it's going to trickle down. But before we get into it, I want to talk about the thing I hate most about social media for real estate agents. I absolutely can't stand. I want to get your opinion on this. I get it's part of the job, but when they post that they just closed on a house.
Oh boy.
That is like a Walmart guy saying, I just got all the carts. Like, congrats. You did your job. Like, it just, like, stop. Like, I don't.
I wasn't ready for that. Thank you.
Yeah. Well,
thank you.
Every time I
just
that,
got all the cards.
Yeah. Like,
and
are you
know
excited?
what? And nobody got mad at me.
Yeah.
Right. I love it.
Like, good. You did your job. Man, you deserve a cookie. Like,
especially last year. Wow, I just sold this one for over ask in 24 hours.
See,
okay. How come you're not posting that today? Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I left that fresh out of my mind, but that irks me even more. Like, oh, it was over ask? You sold it in under a day? What a what a messiah. Like, I'm about to just start.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me use that guy. Right?
Yeah.
Right. Last year when realtors were almost obsolete.
Yeah.
Right? They just need somebody to write 10 contracts.
Will you fill in the blanks for me?
Yep.
How do you feel about real estate agents that do that? I'm not going to out you.
You know what? I'm the guy who always likes to praise victories, even if it's, small ones, even if it's, hey, you did your job. I really wish that real estate agents who do that would praise their buyer more than they would what they did, or their seller. Like, tell me more about, what you did differently than everybody else. Because right now, back a year ago, everybody was selling for over ask. Everybody was selling in 24 hours. Everybody had 108 showings. What did you do differently to manage that? What did you do that would set you apart? What's your value proposition, especially now? Yeah. What's your value proposition when you're not posting every other day that you sold a house in less than 24 hours and 50,000 over ask? That's what I wish more people would do. I'm all about celebrating the victories, but I'm also more about making it about the client. Hey, this guy had never bought a house, and I helped him negotiate. This. It's a veteran, and we helped him. Those are the guys that just really got.
So that's what they need to do.
Yeah.
Agents, step your game up. I don't want to see that weaselly on my Facebook. It's because I see the behind the scenes. I don't.
Or
I don't care.
Walmart guys, start posting when you collected all the carts. Let's thin the herd here.
Yeah.
Right? Let's thin that herd.
Target, let's hear it. Home Depot, how many orange carts did you get? Were they the heavy ones? Were they the little ones?
Right.
Like, yeah.
Right.
Let me see some of that on my Facebook.
Let's see some more activity. Right?
Yeah. Bump it up. Everyone else, you're failing. All I see are real estate agents. I'm gonna need to see what you do at your job.
Right. I need to see it. If you finish that TPS report and you put the cover sheet on it, let us know. Exactly. Post that in the comments section. Post a photo, thumbs up, like it, dislike it if you didn't do your job and you pulled like a Peter Gibbons and you're like, you know what, I get about 4 hours of work done in a solid week.
I would even settle for a victory post of I went to work and didn't murk anybody. Because that's a pretty solid job. Like, some people just don't realize like how hard that is sometimes.
Even more so, I put on pants today. You guys can't see it. We're not wearing pants right now.
This got weird.
COVID. I love it.
Yeah. We were 6 feet. Is it 6 feet apart or we're supposed to be in a bubble of 6 feet? They were never very clear with the rules.
I think what it is, you have to stand next to somebody who's 6 feet tall. I think that's
what it was.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's different every day.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well,
and you're never contagious while eating, ever.
That's true.
Completely immune.
Or if you live in the house of somebody.
Yes.
Which is awkward because I've at some point I imagine I'll be abducted by the government. For tests, because I've had it that many times.
Especially after this video.
Yeah, well, if I go missing, if I die in a car crash, investigate it.
No,
I
you
will
died in a
never.
car crash. It was COVID. COVID got you while you were driving.
Every time I had it, no one in the house got it.
Right.
What is this? This super contagious thing that no one gets, but I got from passing?
I had it one time, and it lasted for about 30 minutes. My wife called it the man flu, but
No, really.
I'm pretty sure it was COVID.
A couple of times I tested because family was coming over like for the holidays.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll go get tested. And
I got tested right before the holidays, and I had it.
Yeah, that's
in front of every holiday.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
How weird is that?
Yeah. Turns
Can't
out,
come
got
over
it
now.
again.
Got it again. 17 times in 1 year.
Well, you got me beat.
My parents are coming over. Yeah, I just tested positive for
Yeah.
COVID.
You sure you want to do that?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to stay 6 feet away from everybody.
Yeah.
Guys, what's up?
Let's talk about rates now.
Let's talk about rates. So, you had made mention that everybody who was, on Facebook is an economist, which we're not, a lender, which I am and you're not, a realtor, which you are and I'm not,
Exactly.
or just an overall market genius. We're here to say we applaud that, just as though you had sold a house over ask last year. We're going to applaud that. Okay, if you want to be a genius in this industry, that's awesome. Call us. We've got jobs for you. But listen, a lot of people say that they can predict the rates because the feds raise rates every month. That is not how mortgage rates work. In fact, one of these things that people fail to look into is that when the feds are raising rates, they're actually raising the federal fund rate, which that is the interest rate that banks charge other institutions for lending excess cash to them and their reserve balance on an overnight basis. So you're talking about the feds who are essentially raising prime rate, which is connected to more credit cards, construction loans, student loans, auto loans. You're talking about
Not student loans. Those are forgiven.
no, except for me.
Yeah.
Middle class always gets hosed. So those are the rates that you're talking about. So the feds, they do meet on a regular basis, and they look at the data that they've compiled over the last month, and they'll talk about raising the federal fund rate, not the mortgage rates. Mortgage rates are actually determined based off of generally the 10-year treasury, but they can also be found by studying the bond markets. I'm not going to go into high detail with this because, number one, I'll confuse myself and you, and then you'll never want to do anything with me ever again. So we're just going to stay real general. You could look at the bond markets, the treasury rates. That's the type of data that you want to look at for you geniuses out there who want to look at the data and say, okay, how are these mortgage rates operating? Look at the treasury, the 10-year treasury. That's what's going to determine how the market is going to move. Most of the market increases, so as far as rates moving from 3% to where they're at today, most of those increases have already been baked in, or I'm sorry, most of the Fed increases have already been baked into the mortgage rates, how people are going to be investing in the bonds and in the treasury and such. If you didn't know, there's all kinds of investing that happens, not just stocks, not just gold, not just Bitcoin, right? There's all kinds of different investing that happens, and some of those are in mortgage-backed securities, and some of that is in the treasury yields. So that being the case, there are investors who are investing in those particular products, which it could be part of a bull run or it could be part of a bear attack. Either which way that you look at it, it's going to go up, it's going to go down, but it's going to determine your mortgage rate. Not whenever the Fed comes out and says, oh, we're going to raise this 3/4 of a point. That doesn't mean mortgage interest rates are going up 3/4 of a point. That means that rates, the Fed fund rates, that's what's going up. So you're going to see an increase in prime. So that being the case, the two are not directly related. However, they do correspond with each other because you can tell if the Feds continue raising the rates as they've done historically this last 10 months, if they continue to do that, mortgage rates generally will go up, but not at the exact same time and not in the exact same increments.
Nice. So actually, that's actually new to me. Again, as a real estate agent, it's not my job to be the lender. I make sure that's your job. Like, you do it. But I will say the bonds, some people actually believe, now this might be enough to confuse you or get you in trouble. What if the bonds were in a bubble right now? The whole bond market. And it's about to just eat one.
So that's a great theory. I don't know exactly how bonds could be quote unquote in a bubble because each coupon is segmented off. So they have a 4% coupon, a 4.5. So basically, an investor might say, well, at 5.5 coupon, I get paid more for each mortgage-backed security that gets originated at a 5.5 coupon versus a 5. And so somebody might sell out of all their 5s to rush over and buy at the 5.5.
Right.
And and continue on, right? They might go up to the 6 or the 6.5. I think right now the primary coupon that people are watching is 5.5. Question: how are rates in the 7s and the coupons at 5.5? Well, that's kind of how that bubble talk happens. But I don't necessarily believe that they're in a bubble. I just think they're under attack. You know, a lot of people will use bonds as a safe haven. So whenever the Dow is dropping, whenever stocks are under attack, they would generally take their money out of their stock position and put it into the bond market. Yeah. Because that was a safer spot. Well, neither one of those could be a safe spot right now. Yeah. Depending on how quickly those rates continue to go up, because somebody might take and put all their money into a 5.5 coupon, and that 5.5 coupon turns into 6. Well, then you're stuck selling. Yeah. Right.
And that's because I'm just now starting to look into this because I'm not a bond expert, but I was seeing some, and I wasn't even planning on going into this rant, but I guess I hadn't put the 2 and 2 together. But looking into it, I'm almost on the side that there might be a very bad situation in the bond market. So when bonds go down, the percentage rates goes up. It's like, hey, I'll pay you this much, if you just hold my debt. What's the word I'm looking for?
That's it. Service the debt at this coupon rate.
And I'll pay you this much. So I have to hold that till maturity, and I'll collect that. Or I can sell the coupon, like a bank sells your loan to another one. Like, hey, I got this much. Do you want it? Now you obviously have to sell them. You have to make it appealing to them. There's got to be a good deal, so they'll cut their price because they want to go into the next one. But so when no one buys the bonds in the first place, they increase the rate. Hey, if you didn't like it at 5, we'll pay you 6%. Almost like an online auction. Like, what about 7%? What about 8? If no one buys it, then that rate does go up. So when people hear about rates going up, I think a lot of people are confusing that. It's because the bonds are actually going down.
Right. It's a big sell-off. Yeah. And so if you've ever had a mortgage held and it switched from one investor to another, you ask yourself the question, why do they keep selling off my mortgage? To shore up liquidity so they can go buy at the higher price coupon, because that's how they make their money is through those purchases. And so your actual note itself is a mortgage-backed security that gets sold in the auction. And so, you want to work with somebody who maybe isn't going to sell off your mortgage every month, meaning that they have more liquidity, which means that if they plummet or go under, you
have a mortgage to pay anymore?
you do. It just could be switched out to 13 different people. Looking back at 2008, that was happening all the time. Mortgage companies would just collapse. Servicers would no longer be holding the note.
What if I just sent them a check anyway, and no one ever checked the mail?
No one ever checked the mail.
Hey, not my fault, you guys.
Not my fault. I sent the check.
Yeah, I signed the contract. It said 30 years. I'm going to send a check to this location.
I sent check 100.
Yeah.
See it right here.
Yeah, now my probably guys didn't get the money.
I know. Somebody's going to get it, right? So, either way, that's how the interest rates kind of are impacted by these monthly Fed meetings that you hear about. Unless the end result is, unless you're waiting for something miraculous or you're watching the bonds and the treasuries or things like that, don't concern yourself with these websites that say, oh, the Feds are raising rates. Just don't concern yourself with that. That's why you have a team of folks who study this, who watch this, who knows what this means for you. That's why it's important. Otherwise, you're just watching things and you're just kind of assuming or imagining what's really happening, where if you don't do the research, you'll never even know, and you're just going to think that interest rates just popped up 3/4 overnight, when, while it could happen, that's not the real reason it's happening.
So I'm going to change. The thumbnail is now going to be Fed rate and social media. So you got, clearly we're biased because we're in the industry. Everyone assumes I'm just begging somebody to buy a house. It's in my best interest to tell you to buy a house. because I'm gonna collect a check, as the real estate agent. And then so you got the professionals. Everyone's making a post on social media. Do this or do that. Everyone's posting their opinion, and there's a large correlation to, if you're not in the industry, you're talking about there's a crash, don't buy, they just want your money, don't do this, like just market timing professionals. Like, I got to assume they're better than I am at this. And then there's everyone who's in the industry with a completely different story.
Sure.
So as the viewer, their takeaway from us is, how would you differentiate this guy has no idea what he's talking about? Because there's always some watered down crap someone's spewing on. I can always pick it up, because I can always tell, like, I can see where he came from. Someone probably was educated when they told him, but it was like playing that telephone tag game, that by the time it made it to their not in the industry, not in the field Facebook post, it came off as, don't buy, they just want your check, the housing market's going to crash.
For me, if you're collecting all of your facts off of Facebook, stop watching this channel, please. Because honestly, Facebook doesn't censor fact per se, or fiction, right? If you're gathering all of your facts off of Facebook, just stop, because you could post whatever you want on there, and somebody could be a real estate agent and still have the doom is gloom. But again, it goes back to our first video of this trilogy. If you haven't vetted them out and you don't know anything about their experience, if they haven't been through 2008, if they don't know anything, why are we believing them? Why? Because your buddy's on Facebook? No, you want.
That's why they bought Bitcoin.
Right? You want to partner with somebody just in general who knows what the hell they're talking about, right? You're not going to take your car that you drive and rely on every day to some guy who posts about, he knows the sequence to, a firing sequence to a 1978 Ford Thunderbird, right? He knows about that. He doesn't know about your, 2021 Volkswagen or whatever. You want to partner yourself with people who know what they're doing as it pertains to what you want or need, period. And, just the whole gathering factual data from Facebook, every 4 years we deal with this, right?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's a politician.
Yeah. Everyone's got it figured out.
Everyone knows how to run the United States of America.
Oh God, I do.
And and the reality is that so many people will read one line. Oh, they just want your money. Okay, I'm out. They just want my money. That's just not the way that it is. I mean, realistically, I could ask you the question. The general pay for a realtor is 3% to buy or sell a house. How much of that 3% do you even take home?
If you haven't, so we got to pay. So I work with Keller Williams Platinum Partners. I guess I have to say that. So,
oh, you did?
Yeah. So I pay them $21,000 a year just to work for them. So fresh out the gate, if I haven't paid that, if the contract's at 3%, I'm probably taking home 1.
Yeah.
Around there, because I got to pay them. Then there's legal fees. Like, most part about being a real estate agent is all the lawyers we have drawing up those contracts. So like, by the time you guys get to me and the work we do, it is fill in the blanks with these contracts. But that's because we paid lawyers. We've gone through everyone's covering everyone's butt in these contracts. So the take home is not what people would think. They're gonna, now as a seller, you're gonna see 6%, and then that's like a huge chunk. But by the time they get divvied up to all the little birds wanting a little seed, it seems like you take home nothing. So to the people that say like,
They just want your money.
Yeah,
it's really not that great a pay.
Yeah,
right?
You're gonna overpay. Like, listen, the transaction going from 500 to 515,000 doesn't mean dick. Like I wouldn't care. Like, if one's gonna get something signed, like if that's what we're talking about, like, let's go. That's never been an issue. I don't know. I think there might have been some predatory way before I was, because I tell you, my niche. I'm gonna call it niche. I don't like calling it a niche. Yeah, that's,
like
how you're supposed to say it, but it's weird. Yeah, I'm gonna call it niche, because niche just sounds weird. But I used to get everyone as a first-time home buyer because I just didn't care. I just liked doing it, and the dads would always show up. Like this is everyone would be like a girl and the dad shows up, and I'm just like the super dad. And, but like they only show up to the first one. They're like, nah, he's good, and that was like my referral base for the longest time. So like I don't know if that's how it was before, but man, worrying about pennies like that would never be a thing. And I guess if someone's on Facebook saying he's just trying to take your money, if you even have that inclination of the real estate professional you're trying to talk to, then that's probably already a red flag in itself. So I would say, like what you said, find someone in the business. But if you think you get that car salesman vibe from it, then just find another one. There is not a shortage of agents out there right now. We are everywhere. If you, I get this, I see this post a lot, like, who are my real estate agent friends? Because I'm looking to buy, and it's usually someone else is trying to get you to partner with a real estate agent. Post that just for fun. Hey, I'm looking for a real estate agent. It'd be the most comments you've ever gotten on a Facebook status. Yeah.
Ever. Just do it for fun at this point.
They're all going to show up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I had a question about a house. DM'd you. PM.
Hold on. I'm outside.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's show up.
Here
right?
I am.
Oh, hey, I found you on the county website, and I know where you live. I'm just going to go ahead and show up at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Hope that works for you.
I was in the area.
Yeah, I was in the area knocking on doors.
Yeah.
Listen, I guess where we were going with that is he's not trying to take your money. It's so diluted anyways. It's not like it's even, I guess that's what everybody thought is, oh, he's going to make millions of dollars selling real estate. Not really. After all the dilution happens with that, it's not really that lucrative of a business anyways, which is why you do stocks. The reality is he just likes doing it. He likes helping people. And so therefore you can take his word, to heart, because it's not a money factor. Even for myself, I hate doing mortgages. Hate it. I love helping people. Yeah. And fortunately, I'm a mathematician and statistician, and those are the types of things that a good lender needs to have as traits. Is the ability to do good math and the ability to read statistics and what the market's done and what it's going to do, or kind of some predictability with it. But again, those guys, he just wants your money. They just don't know.
Yeah,
they just don't know. Go collect those carts and post about it. Right?
I look forward to your post later about the carts you got.
Yeah, post about the Walmart carts you picked up, right? The other piece of, there's a market crash. Says who? Well, I saw it on this website. Post the link. Yeah. By the time you actually get to the link of where it was posted, is that link even factual? Tell me about the writer. Are they in the mortgage industry? Are they a realtor? Oh, they're not. So it's their speculation of, there's going to be a huge market correction. They don't even know what they're talking about. Really dig in deep, guys. Really do your fact checks on just everything. If you're not going to a .org type site to find your information, anybody could be writing this on a .com site. As far as somebody read something on Wikipedia that the market was going to crash, and they just decided to post about it so they could come back next year and post a memory. Told you.
Yeah.
Right? Who does that?
Everyone's
even because you do stocks in the stock world. Yep, it's going to $2. They'll just throw out some arbitrary number. Told you.
Yeah.
What happens if it didn't hit $2? They disappear.
Yeah. Oh, I see that all the time. So what's funny is now they're on my channel, so they know this. I have a stock group and everything, but I've been in so many chats. And it's hilarious how many times there's like a red day or something after they called something out they were going to go bullish on.
Yeah.
And they're sleeping. they have a new adventure. Like, oh, sorry guys, I was too busy.
Sorry, I was investing in this multi-million-dollar startup.
Yeah, but the green day happens again. All of a sudden, like, all right guys, I'm back. Let's ready to do this. Oh man, that red. Oh, I was way too focused on my other thing. Makes way more. Obviously I had to.
I was buying millions of dollars of real estate.
Yeah, those people crack me up. That's basically all of social media. So there's a new thing. I haven't looked into this. I just read the article today. Did you see PayPal's new thing? It ties in with social media now.
I think I saw something.
PayPal's new disclaimer. If you are caught spreading misinformation, PayPal charges your account $2,500. So, my friend's like, I deleted PayPal. You should too. I'm like, all right, pump the brakes. What's going on?
Or just stop spreading misinformation.
Yeah. That's like the downside though. Is like, I'm never on social media, but like, what opinion did I have at one point in time? This day and age, like the cancel culture's like, hey, 2008, you said this.
More so, it's kind of like, oh, well, you could get a $150 speeding ticket. All right, I'm done driving.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Never do that
You
again.
got me.
Wow. Right? Like, come on.
Yeah, but who's in charge of the misinformation though?
Who's in charge of saying it is misinformation?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I mean, I
because
did get a
my
D
buddy said
on a history test once. Boy, that might come back and bite me.
Well, the one thing I want to figure out, because my buddy asked, he said, "Are they on commission? Like the
Right.
people who determine if that's misinformation?"
More so, what happens if I don't have $2,500? I mean, that's the case in most instances right now. I have 4 kids. When do I ever have $2,500?
Well, they can pull it out of your account until
What if I don't have $2,500 in the account? They just put
like,
a lien on my account.
Looks like you're negative.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
At that point, it goes to collections.
Goes to collections.
Yeah, that could be that's a slippery slope.
That is.
Yeah, this is brand new. Something I'm going to have to really look into. Because that's, awkwardly enough, I said that on a stream the other day. I said, if we were actually to charge people, because it's not illegal to be stupid, and I wish it was.
I wish it were.
Like, but the people do spread misinformation all the time. And I even said, like, I bet if we hit their pocketbooks, that comes to a screeching halt.
Yeah.
But then it's who's in charge. Because that idea sounds really cool until you actually put 5 seconds into thought of who's in charge of it. Because Twitter will tell you they got a pretty good handle on it. And you know Twitter's just far left. And then you go to, what's the one Trump started?
Truth
Social.
Truth
Yeah.
Social.
You see, Elon said it should be, he said it's a right-leaning echo chamber, should be called Trumpet.
Right.
But hilarious. But there's no blind side to
But
the
what are
fact
you
that's
going to
far
really
right.
do if he just bought Twitter to shut it down? He's like, you know what, forget it.
No, I think, no,
I'm going to buy Twitter and just shut it down.
no, he offered to do it with Facebook.
Just buy Facebook and turn it
Yeah,
off.
no, he was 1,000% serious. He said, I will buy Facebook at fair value.
And just
And
shut
just
it
to
down.
delete it, yeah. He said it's trash. But he actually does, in my opinion, you know, I'm not on his nuts or anything, but he actually does believe in free speech, and he thinks
Oh, yeah,
it could
100%.
be much better.
Yeah.
And
Until I found out he was in Epstein's Island, right?
yeah.
That's
Don't
the
do
free
that.
speech we don't want to talk about.
Yeah, was he really? Don't tell me. I was gonna say, like, God, Elon, come on.
I have no.
You can have anyone.
Great.
Why do you
There's
need
$2,500 for that comment. Let
Yeah.
me see if they've already charged me.
What's your PayPal? It's at Randy, all right?
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
I brought
There's-
him to you. I better get a cut of this.
There's $2,500 right out the gate.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like, does that?
You know what, Elon? If you're watching this, just post in the comments below.
Yeah.
Did you go there or not? We
Yeah.
really want to know.
Yeah. Don't just lie to me. All right. I don't want to find out Elon went there. Like,
So
the guy's got 20 kids.
because we could do this for hours. I mean, ultimately, we've come back to say, if you're reading somebody, just say, I'm not in the industry, but I believe it's a bunch of hocus pocus, and I'm saying that right now because it's the holiday season of Halloween. Question that,
Yeah.
right? Don't just take their word for it.
Yeah, at the very least, find someone. Let's say you're on my Facebook. You see Joe Blow saying this, right? Bring that. I wouldn't just take what he said, but if you think there's some merit to it, take it to the guy that is in the industry and say, hey, debate this with me, clear this up. You know, don't just take it and think, that's that, I'm going to lock up my funds for a while. Because, like, you're making life decisions with some of these clowns on Facebook. And which it sucks to say, but that's the reality. Like, people are taking medical advice on Facebook. Like, Joe Rogan said one thing, people lost their minds. I've never gone to Joe Rogan for medical advice in my life. But all of a sudden, he said something about the vaccine, and it's got to be etched in stone. You'd have thought he was the one. Like, man, people were really worried about that. And I worry about the people that take real advice like that off of social media or like a podcast. Like even what I'm saying, I try to help everybody out as much as I can. You can question everything I ever have to say. Like why? I don't know, why wouldn't you? Why would you just blindly take someone's word for it and then just make big decisions like that? That blows me away.
I think that's a good disclaimer to throw in here. We aren't saying, hey, call us and only us to do your loan and be your realtor. We're just saying, feel free to call us and we'll be unpaid consultants for you. Absolutely. But, you know, if it comes down to it and you're in our area and our network and we could help you, we'll be more than happy to. But, you know, we're not sitting out here because we're broke trying to find more money. We're sitting out here doing this because we just want to help. We feel like we have valuable information that you guys need to know about. And, you know, we're just happy to pass that along to you.
Yeah, and for YouTube money,
Yes.
I made $25 this month.
I lost $2,500
Oh,
because I stated something incorrect.
that's because you misinformation spreader.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm in the hole on that one.
Well, at least I'm positive 25.
Might have to wait a week to cash that check, but we'll get it done.
$25 a month. We're sitting at, all right, so 100 more months.
Yeah.
I'll get you paid back.
100 more months, we could probably rent a catamaran.
Better not have that again.
Yeah.
I'll cover this one time. Well, let's wrap it up here. So long story short, mortgage rates a little more complicated than Powell just coming out and saying they're going to raise. All right, there's a system, and you can get your little Google your little heart out. You can definitely find all the ways, not algorithms. What word am I looking for? Metrics they use to raise and lower it, because it will not just be off the feds. And if you're looking to social media, that's the community aspect, I guess. Not a bad. I guess it's where everybody starts. I get it. But I would question who you're taking the advice from. Where did they form their opinion from? Was it headlines? And then what article? Well, where was the actual source? Because I'm not going to get into it. One of the statistics I read was foreclosures. They were up 700%. Okay, and we talked about that in the last video. What I didn't talk about was I actually did a deep dive into that. They weren't even in the industry. And it was a very skewed, it was like, survey says this, and then you find out they surveyed 5 people.
Right.
You're like, oh,
yeah,
sweet.
Like 4 out of 5 dentists recommend Colgate, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, compared to what? Dog crap?
Yeah, exactly. Like, what was the other, like, do you recommend it? Like, yeah, I guess, why not?
I mean, I would recommend it compared to, you know.
What, Castaway? Just using your finger?
Right? Like, seriously, that's the thing behind marketing. That's the thing behind sales. That's the thing behind, you know, advertising. You know, so many people will say, oh, well, 4 out of 5 people recommend smoking cigarettes compared to what?
Yeah.
Eating acid?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course they would. Yeah,
exactly.
They don't tell you everything, and so that's the key ingredient with that, is to just know everything that you can about what you're wanting to do. If you are finding yourself in a slump where you just can't find more information or something's unclear, that's why Don Fran and I are here, is to just help clear that up as best as possible for you.
Find the right person for the right job.
That's it.
Yeah. Let's wrap it up on that.
Yep. If you have questions, obviously feel free to comment, like the post. I think we need to talk about some keywords: airplane, hangar.
We don't have a Lamborghini this time.
We have choke the chicken in the background.
Yeah, that's
pool.
Now we're demonetized. Yeah,
pool,
keywords.
Hot women, Lamborghini, and all the other things that you can think of.
Crash, panic, pandemonium, circus. Hot women. Yes. Still on the hunt. I have faith one day.
Yes.
I hear this virtual reality world is going to be endless, you know, so I bet I find one in there.
I'll be 150 pounds soaking wet, I promise you that.
Yeah, I got high hopes.
I got high hopes too.
All right, guys, we'll see you in the next video.
Thanks so much.